Hello, my name is Selena.
And my name's Theoni, and you are listening to Piping Hot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Piping Hot. We hope everyone is having a great June so far. I can't believe it's almost the end of the month.
I know, I feel like time has been going by so fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like I need to go out and do more stuff. I feel like I haven't, and it's already the end of June.
See, I feel like I've been doing too much stuff and I just need a break. That's how I feel. Yeah, I'm I need some alone time.
Yeah.
And I'm literally busy for the next I don't even know how long. So
wow. Oh my, look at you. You're just the main character, honestly.
Yeah, barely. Oh gosh.
But yeah, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a really long time. I have done nothing. Are you surprised? No. Jack and I went to an art festival yesterday, which was really fun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was super busy, really hot, but yeah,
where was the art
fun.
festival?
It was the Stone Arc Bridge Festival, and it's just along the river. Yeah, no, it was really nice, super busy. But yeah, no, it was nice to get out again because I'm not doing anything. It's nice to get out and support small businesses, the arts and all that stuff. So that's been fun. It's almost crazy to say that I get to see Miss Taylor Allison Swift this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend. That's crazy.
Yes, I am losing my mind because I'm oh my, it's less than a week. I'll be in there, in her presence, in the same state. It's unreal to me. Literally unreal.
I wonder what your surprise songs are gonna be.
I don't know. I'm so nervous because all of the surprise songs are at least all the ones that I wanted are gone. And I'm
oh, really?
Yeah, because she did Haunted in Chicago or Pittsburgh or whatever it was. And I was really? You did Haunted? That's rude. That is really rude.
I wonder which ones you're gonna get. I feel like there's got to be something good. Is she doing 2 nights in Minneapolis?
She is, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm nervous. I think we still have Picture to Burn. I'll take that.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah, and then she did Mr. Perfectly Fine in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I saw that.
So mad because I love that song. So I don't know. I'm even more nervous about our surprise songs than anything else. So I don't even care about the concert. It's just the surprise songs.
Oh my gosh.
And then I have slowly started to revise again.
Wow.
But I'm finding it's really anxiety inducing for me.
Really?
And I don't know why. I've just kind of been off lately, and I don't know. I think it's I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes things in life, they are just way bigger in my head than they seem. For example, I have a ton of shit on my dining table right now, and I don't want to clean it because it feels like such a bigger thing in my head.
I get
you know
that.
What I mean?
No, literally before we got on the phone, I was gonna sit and eat a little snack because I got home not too long ago, but then I was just too overwhelmed. I was I have to clean my space, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy because I had shit everywhere. And our washing machine just broke too, so now we either got to get it replaced or a repairman has to come. So I've been wanting to do laundry for days and I just haven't been able to. So first world problems for sure. But it's annoying because I would love to do my laundry. Yeah
Is that something that the landlord takes care of?
Yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah, because we didn't do anything. It's not our fault if the washing machine breaks,
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's just a matter of them getting their shit together to come and fix it and all that stuff.
Because he came today to look at it, I guess. And he was well, there's definitely energy getting to it since I got shocked, but I guess it has to get repaired. I was
oh,
did you electrocute yourself? He said it so casually, but I was okay. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, so writing has just been kind of a big thing in my head too. I think it's because I don't know what I want to do next. So anyways, but I did
get a you don't know what you want to do next? I feel didn't you already start your next thing?
No, because I don't know what to do next with the story. I don't know what to change. I could go so many different ways that it's so overwhelming.
Gotcha.
Where it's okay, I could stay the course, do that, or I could do plan A, or I could do plan B, or I could just do plan C. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
That sounds so overwhelming.
Yeah, and I think I just like need to sit down and like really plan it out and just be like, okay, what am I so anxious about? Like what's going on in my head that I can't get through it? So I think I just need to sit down and like fucking figure my fucking life together. Yeah. But you know what I did though? I did get a consultation to get more tattoos. So at least that'll cure my depression, anxiety.
When's
your
consultation?
July 14th.
What are you going to get?
So I'm going to do 2 half sleeves. So I'm going to do a half sleeve here on my left, like upper arm. And then I'm going to do a half sleeve here on my right forearm.
Shut up.
So they're going to be big.
Oh my God, what are they going to be of? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know. So the one on my shoulder is going to be of a dragon from Spirited Away, which is a Studio Ghibli film. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to take up a pretty good amount of my shoulder here. Mm-hmm. And then my forearm is going to be like the birth flowers of like my siblings and my family.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm
Oh
excited.
my gosh, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. How long does that take? Probably multiple sessions, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm going to see if he can just let me do it in one go.
Oh, yeah, just to get it done with. Like,
yes.
Take a whole day and just crank it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he'll let me do at least like one full day or like split it and we do back-to-back days because honestly, I just want to get it like done with. And it's not even the pain for me. It's just like sitting there for hours, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
So,
and it will take a while since it's going to be such a big one, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to be about like 9 to 10 inches. So like
holy
like my arm.
Crap, but that's crazy.
I know. So I'm going to ask him how long it'll take because I'm going to want shading. There's going to be no colors, just like black. But there is going to be shading and it's going to be detailed. So like I don't know. I'll let you know.
Do you trust this guy? Or I guess that's why you do the consultation. Oh, he's done the other ones, right?
Yeah, well, actually, fun fact, I was going to go with a different artist, but his books have been closed all year long, and I've just been waiting. And, like, he hasn't opened his books yet, so I'm like, oh, whatever. And then my friend actually just got tattooed by this other guy who I have a consultation with, and I really like his style. He does flowers really, really prettily. Ooh, if that's a fucking word.
Prettily.
Can you believe I'm a fucking writer, Theoni? Fuck me. Okay. Sorry. And then he also just recently did like a dragon. So I was like,
so that's perfect.
Yeah, and I really like his style too. So I'm like, okay, he won't do anything that like I won't like. So I sent in a consultation. I was like, let me see if he'll take me. And then he replied, he's like, yeah, let's get you on the books for a consultation. So
nice. That's so exciting.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see like oh my gosh. So with the consultation, how long would it take after that?
Probably like a month or two. I guess I don't know how like booked up he is. So I'm hoping it'll be like within a month, but I'm patient, so it's fine.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's going to look so cool. I can't wait to see it already.
Yeah. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
What are you drinking today?
I just have a Diet Coke.
Very nice. Solid choice.
I just needed something easy. I got it on the way home this morning, so I was like, it works. So.
Very nice.
What are you drinking? Yeah. Wow, I'm an asshole. I didn't even ask.
No, you're not. I'm drinking a smoothie that I made.
That's so fancy.
It's really not. It's like
fancy to me because you have to put it in a blender and everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I got like a big bag of like frozen fruit from Costco. So it's like raspberry, blackberry, blueberries, I think.
Oh, like the mixed berries.
Yes, yeah. And then I put some Greek yogurt, some milk, honey, and then just blended it together. So it's really good. So
nice.
All right. Do we want to get into what we're reading, watching, listening, consuming?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I don't even know what I've been. Let's start with reading. What have I been reading lately? I mean, obviously the book we're going to talk about today. But I've also read Just Haven't Met You Yet. Or did I talk about that last time?
Is that the one with like the airport thing?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I rated it 2 stars. It was pretty awful.
It is.
Yeah, okay. I literally, I think I blocked it from my memory. The fact that you remember that and I don't, but like
because I don't do anything, Theoni. There's nothing up here.
Oh my gosh. What are you reading?
What am I reading? So the book that we're going to discuss today. I really haven't made any progress with the Far Wilder Magic, which is the young adult fantasy that I have on my nightstand that I haven't touched. It's collecting dust. It's not bad. I'm just like in a slump. But I am going to start reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros with a friend.
Oh.
We don't have high hopes. So we're like,
really? Yeah,
we're a little skeptical.
Heard such good things. Like everyone's going nuts over it.
I know, but you know what else?
Serpent in the Wings of Night.
Exactly. Yeah. I also told my friend that. I was like, oh, me and a friend read Serpent in the Wings of Night recently, and it sucked. So I'm like, I wonder if Fourth Wing is gonna be the same along those lines, or if it's actually really good.
And that's actually what I'm reading right now is the second book in the Serpent of the Wings of Night. So
you're so brave.
Yeah.
You're so brave.
It's like, I don't even understand how anyone calls it romantasy. Like, it's just not. Like, even this one so far, like, there's not been any, like, spice or, like, anything. And I'm like...
They're married, aren't they?
Yeah, but, like, oh, it's so dumb. Like,
I can't believe you're reading it. Like, I honestly...
I know, but it's
can't.
just, like, I have to.
Okay.
I have to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know how Fourth Wing is.
Yes, please do.
I don't know. I feel like it's like too much hype. Like, I feel like I'm going to be disappointed because I was disappointed with Serpent in the Wings at Night. So
yeah.
What are you watching?
I randomly have gotten into Love Island the last weekend. So Love Island UK, like the new season that's on. I feel like I'm like losing brain cells, but like it's pretty good actually.
Yeah, good.
So I don't know. I'm like very, very into that. It's such an easy watch. Like you literally don't have to think. So I love that.
Wait, like Love Island, the US version, right?
No, UK.
Oh.
Yeah, it's better. I tried watching one season of Love Island US and it was shit.
Oh, how interesting. Okay.
Don't ask me why. But it just is different. It's just different.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I did start watching The Kardashians on Hulu as background noise for work. So I'm just like, I just have that on. And then Jack and I are also watching the newest season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That show is still going?
Right? It's season 16. Like, it's crazy.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's
I thought
so crazy.
that, like, ended, like, years ago. Like, I thought that, like, ended when The Office ended. Like, I thought that was a really old show. All right.
Oh, cool. It is. It's very old. They've been doing it for almost 20 years because we calculated it because I'm like, oh my God, they look so much older in these episodes now. But it's hilarious. It's so bad in the best way, but it's been really fun.
Nice. Yeah. What are you listening to?
Theoni, what do you think I'm listening to?
Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Well, you have to because you're exactly.
I'm prepping. I'm ready for it. Okay.
Do you have your outfit already?
Yes and no. Like, okay. I think I'm going back and forth, so I think I'm gonna change it. But you know, that's a Selena problem for later.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. What are you listening to?
Nothing good.
Okay.
Like literally just like I'm trying to make like my June and like summer 2023 playlist, but I've been so busy that I haven't had time to like go and find like fun new songs. So it's all kind of old stuff that's like fine to listen to, but I'm just like looking for new stuff to listen to.
Got it. That makes sense. You know what I did yesterday? I went to our Spotify like shared playlist just to see like what you're listening to, what I'm listening to. Sometimes I just check in on it because I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Wait, what do you mean a shared playlist? Does it update?
Yeah, we have like a blend, like Theoni and Selena. And it updates? Yes.
I didn't know. I thought it just made it when you made it and that was it.
No, it updates like weekly. So I can see like what you're listening to and like what we're both listening to.
What?
And yes.
I had no idea. What the heck? How do I find it? Oh, Selena and Theoni play.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoa. I really had no idea it updated this. Sorry, now I'm like so into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are you consuming?
Nothing good. Last night I had nachos and fries and chicken tenders. So not like all to myself. Like I shared it with somebody, but like Just kidding. No, but it was pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. And we got like all the different sauces they offered rather than just getting one. We're like, can we try them all? And they're like, yeah. So,
that's the best. Like that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you consuming?
So yesterday, like I said, Jack and I went to that art festival. We had some amazing Thai food from a food truck. Like it blew me out of the water. I was like digging it. It was so good. I was honestly like still thinking about it. Like it was so good.
Some food trucks just like hit different. I don't know what it is, but they're so good.
Yeah. Do we want to go into our pop culture?
Sure. I only have 2 things.
I only have one. Wow.
Okay. I'm glad we're a little bit more on the same level because I feel like last week I let you down. Okay, so 2 things. Barbara Palvin and Dylan Sprouse are engaged after 5 years of dating. Woohoo.
Wait, I thought that was already released that they were engaged.
I thought that just came out.
Oh, I don't know.
Or did that happen like weeks ago?
I don't know.
I thought they just said something about it.
I don't know. But yay, them.
I'm mad. No. Okay, well, all right. And I'm sure our other one is probably the same. Yeah, Kourtney Kardashian.
And she's pregnant.
She's pregnant. And she announced it at the Blink 182 concert. I'm shook. I honestly, I didn't know that. I don't know, because they've been trying for so long.
Yes.
So, like, I'm really happy for them because I know that they really wanted that, but it's just so surprising to me because both of their kids are, like, grown now. So, it's just
They're
wild.
only a few years younger than us. I think they're old. Oh, well, at least Travis, his oldest is, like, in his early 20s, right? Like, 2021.
Yeah, something like that.
Kourtney is 44. And you know, like, labor gets harder after, like, 35.
I'd be scared if I were her. Oof.
She can do it, though.
Yeah, she got this.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, okay, good for them, because I know, yes, they have been trying a lot. Like crazy. So.
Oh, my God, we sing way too much of that.
Yes.
Oh, my God. But yeah, that's literally it.
Okay, great.
Alrighty. So, Selena, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood, which just came out this past Tuesday or like last week Tuesday or whatever. Yeah. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to do a deep dive on it. And I'm so excited because I have kept all of my thoughts.
I've wanted to say so much to you the past week. Like I read through this, I think, in a day. It was 24 hours for sure.
Yeah.
I literally could not put it down. I literally could not put it down.
Sorry, I'm like speechless.
I know.
It's funny because like every year I'm always like so surprised by Allie Hazelwood and just how much I love her writing, her characters, and I'm just like floored.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
For me, the Love Hypothesis and Love Theoretically are on a completely different level than Love on the Brain. Like, Love on the Brain to me is by far the worst.
I was just going to say, I like this book better than Love on the Brain.
Significantly better. Like, this almost, I was like, do I like this better than the Love Hypothesis?
No, you don't.
But I was like, no,
don't you dare. No, you don't.
I don't.
No,
but I
doesn't
thought
even
it
come
for a
close.
brief second.
Yeah.
But
no, because I think Love Theoretically emotionally is like way better than Love on the Brain. But I will say, and I'll give it to Love on the Brain, that the plot was a little bit better, but even then it still doesn't compare with Love Theoretically.
Yeah. On a very basic level, and I'm sure I'll mention this 500 times as we talk about it, but like the fact that she was such a people pleaser made me ill to read about. Every single time it was like, oh, I just have to do. I was like, oh.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say when I sent you a Snapchat. I sent you multiple Snapchats earlier this week about it. That it should have been illegal that we got an Emily Henry book about people pleasing and then an Allie Hazelwood book about people pleasing.
That was mean. Because for us people pleasers out there, I was like,
how dare you?
How dare you?
I don't need to be called out.
I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, do I have to like rethink like, what?
I couldn't even get a break.
No,
these books came back to back.
I literally couldn't get a break. It was so overwhelming the whole time. Like, in a good way, but yes, my gosh.
Yeah, honestly, jail time. That was not nice.
No, it wasn't nice. They need to, like, consult next time.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Like, make sure they're not doing this to us.
Yeah, like that their themes are different so that we don't have a heart attack over here.
No, literally, because that was very close.
Yeah.
Alrighty, should I dive right in?
Yes!
Okay. This time around for our books, we are doing like 2 chapters by 2 chapters back and forth. So I combined my summaries. They're kind of long summaries, but I feel like it's just whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So the book starts with a small prologue of Elsie being found in a compromising position with Jack in the bathroom. Then, what a way to start the book, I just have to say. Sorry, I'll finish the summary. Okay. Then we go into chapter 1 where we find out that Elsie is a scientist recently graduated with a PhD who hasn't been able to find a job that she wants yet. To make enough money, she becomes people's fake girlfriends. Her favorite client, Greg, is the only one she goes on repeat dates with. So in the first scene, we find Elsie and Greg at a family birthday party. Before we know it, Elsie is cornered not once, but twice by Greg's brother, Jack, who questions Elsie and finds out she might be lying about being his girlfriend. Even Elsie can't deny their chemistry when their hands brush as she beats him at a game of Go. In the beginning of chapter 2, we get introduced to Elsie's best friend Cece, who also participates in fake dating. We find out throughout their conversation that Elsie begins her interview for the job she wants tonight with an informal dinner, that Elsie doesn't actually date in real life, and that her mother seems to dump her problems on Elsie. Then, in the second part of chapter 2, Elsie meets with Monica, who is one of the people she is interviewing with. Elsie discovers that she will have to play the game right to win the position based on politics. However, right as she's about to begin her informal dinner interview, Jack walks into the restaurant. I knew there was something there. Like, I knew that they were going to have some other connection besides Greg. I think I wrote that somewhere in... Oh, this was my prediction. On page 31, like, Elsie was talking about, like, another physicist who was applying for the job. At first, I thought that physicist was going to be Jack.
Yeah.
I thought it was either going to be Jack, or I was like, how is this other person going to play into the story? Yeah. And obviously, that person ended up having a huge part in the story. Yeah.
I will say, I'll give Love Theoretically this, that the tension between Elsie and Jack was literally incomparable. Like,
from the first page.
Yes, immediately. I was like, holy, someone cut the tension in this room. Like,
literally.
Like, it was crazy.
It made me ill. Like, I was like, if this is the first chapter, what is the rest of the book gonna be? I was
literally,
like, what?
Literally.
Nuts.
Yes.
Okay. Page 10.
Okay.
I said, the fact that he literally just responds with short sentences in the first scene dumping her wine down the drain is so hot. Like, literally at first, he said, like, no words. And somehow I was still drooling over him. I was like, you're not even doing anything. And I'm, like, dying.
Literally, I have multiple comments about that. I'm like, he's doing nothing, but I find it so hot. It's like,
what is up with that? Literally. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Page 12. This was page 12. And I already knew this book was going to attack who I am. It said, in quotes, I find that people like me better if they don't have to expend emotional energy on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that line and I was like, ooh.
I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God. This happened in Love on the Brain too.
Okay.
We get it. He's tall. We get it. He's towering over you. I get it.
Oh.
I don't need it every other sentence.
Oh, Theoni, just wait. I have a whole fucking paragraph about that shit. Okay?
No, literally. Oh my gosh. So anyways. The only other thing I really have to say about the first couple chapters is on page 35, when she called her phone the iTwat, that made me laugh so hard. That actually really made me laugh. Like, I laughed out loud.
Going back to that, though, of, like, Elsie and her voice, so funny. Again, I'm like, I feel like every year I'm so surprised that Allie Hazelwood is a good writer. Like,
I know, it's like, for what? Like, she always been a good writer, so why do we think it's going to be different?
I know. I think I just forget because I'm like reading so many different books that like when I get to her, I'm like, wow, like I can grasp Elsie already in her voice. She's so funny, and I just, I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it is really good.
But yeah, that's kind of my main gist for the first couple chapters.
Okay.
So quite a bit right off the bat.
Yeah, but I loved it. Okay, jumping into chapter 3 and 4. So I have them separated. So I'll start out with chapter 3, and this is my synopsis. Elsie learns that Jack Smith is the Jonathan Smith Turner, who nearly ruined her field. We get flashback scenes of Elsie and Greg talking logistics on their first fake date, in which Elsie gets the wrong impression that Jack is a physical ed teacher, not a physicist. When Jack begins to tread dangerous waters and outing her fake double life, Elsie excuses herself to the bathroom. Jack follows, and they have a heated conversation in the bathroom stall. Elsie leaves with her hatred of Jack and her determination that she'll get this job. Answer me this, because who the fuck goes by Jack for Jonathan?
I know. That's what I was wondering. I was like, I want to know. Like, I thought like Jackson or something. I've never heard that before. Maybe that's a thing and I'm just not aware.
No, I'm not aware either, because I was like, well, how do you go from Jonathan to Jack? Was it like his mom called him Jack or something? Like, I don't...
Yeah, that never got explained. That doesn't seem like a... Yeah.
Anyways. I understand the purpose of it because it was a plot device, but I loved it because like the shock of him walking in, like you said,
she was like, oh my God.
Oh, on page 49, when she calls Jack Jonathan Jack Jesus Christ Superstar Smith Turner, it's my favorite name for him. Or Jonathan fucking Smith fucking Turner is a close second when just mentioned on page 61. Like, so funny.
Jesus Christ Superstar. Again, the writing is so funny. Like, where did that come from?
Yes, it's so funny. But also, too, like, when Greg mentioned that he was in that musical, I knew something was up, that he wasn't truly into Elsie. I thought he was either, like, gay or bi, but we find out later that he's not. But, I just thought it was so funny. Like, okay, it says that I have to read on page 52. Sorry, there's going to be so many quotes.
It's okay.
So bear with me. He crosses his arms over his chest and leans back, preparing to study me at his leisure. He's wearing a dark green Henley in this fancy-ass restaurant. Underdressed again, like his entire brand is Instagram lumper sexual, and he can't risk being spotted wearing business casual. When he was wearing a Henley, I screamed.
Selena, I literally have a note. I said it in chapter 23, but I wrote, I'm sorry, but the fact when you were in Boston, you wanted to buy a Henley for Jack, and now this Jack wears Henleys. He's your perfect man. LMAO.
Yeah, literally, I bought him a dark green Henley for my Jack, and this Jack is wearing a dark green Henley. I was just laughing so fucking hard, like giggling, kicking my feet, like just, I loved it.
It was hot as fuck.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about this bathroom scene already, okay? So I knew he was going to follow her, but when she turned around and he had the door opened for her, I was going to faint. I was literally going to faint because I was like, oh, we're doing this right now? Yeah, let's do it right now.
He didn't even say anything. And then she's like, all right.
Yeah, like, she's like, shit. Going back to your whole thing that he is tall and blah, blah, blah. We need to talk about the size difference because it's almost to the point where I'm like, this is a little too much. I understand Adam and Olive's size difference. I also understand Levi and B's. But Jack and Elsie almost felt like a whole different level where like Jack was 7 feet tall, ripped to shreds, and Elsie was like a 5 feet child who weighed less than 100 pounds. I was like, what the hell?
I was like... No, it just felt really unnecessary. Like, you can mention he's tall, but it didn't need to be constant. I was like, I get it. I don't, like, what is this doing for anything? It's not. So. It
reminded me of that TikTok that you sent me of, like, that girl in between the two really tall fucking guys. Like, at that point, the height difference and size difference is just so uncomfy.
Too much. Yeah, exactly.
The tension in the scene was so good. I think the tension between them entirely throughout this book was so
Amazing.
good. Kind of like in the bathroom scene, on top of page 61, a hand dryer goes off, muffling the rest. Jack still holding me, eyes on mine, foreheads near touching. My nails dig into his chest, made of some granite Calver blend, engineered by a task force of experimentalists to exude heat. He's a sentient weighted blanket, and I hate him. You may hate him, but I was loving it, okay?
No, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
This whole BS about how she didn't like him, I was like, you know you love it.
You're just delusional right now, okay?
No,
I forgive you.
Yeah.
I loved at the end of this chapter where Elsie is like determined that Jack isn't going to get the Elsie he wants. And I feel like that's a really big kind of character point for her. And I think it, obviously, we'll talk about it as we go on. But I love that she's like, he's not going to get the one that he wants. Like, I'm going to give him whatever he gets. And I love that because then it like poses.
Because that's exactly the challenge that she needs, you know?
Exactly.
It was set up perfect. I cannot believe this is chapter 3.
I know.
So, you know, like but it also didn't feel too fast. That's the thing.
It like hit the ground running, but in the best way possible.
Yeah,
like
totally.
It was crazy. And then the chapter ends with, surprise, so much tension. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm like, there's so many like favorite parts.
I know
in this
that's
book
what I mean. There's so many good lines.
Yeah, that I can't like. I forget like what I'm talking about on page 61 or whatever. So basically, he says, then it seems that we're at an impasse, Elsie, right? Because he's like saying her name or whatever. And then she says, no, I won't because I'm better than that. Or am I? And then she hisses, you do not want to come at me. Oh, Elsie, his hands on me are incongruously gentle, and yet we're on the verge of an academic equivalent of nuclear warfare. I think it's exactly what I want. Excuse me? What do you want?
I'm shook. I still can't believe when he said that. I was like, that's bold.
Yes.
And she acts like it's nothing. I'm like,
I would have been shitting, crying, throwing up, like
I would have like, let's just do
this
this right now.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, that's how chapter 3 ends. So we can get into chapter 4. Elsie debriefs the situation with Cece and believes that Jack won't tell Monica of her second identity because it wouldn't be good for him and what he wants. We learn that Elsie got a Forbes STEM award, which is how she got on the map of the physics community, and she looks up George, her competition for this role, and stumbles across Georgina Spelvetta, I think, a physics superstar who she admires. The chapter ends with her mom calling to help diffuse the situation between her brothers and rehearses her teaching demonstration. I don't know about you, but this book was so much more sciencey than any of her other books.
It was a lot. Sometimes like even the humor, I was like, this is a bit, sometimes I was like, this is a bit much. Like I get your niche, but like maybe this is a bit much.
I mean, I was still able to follow like most of the important parts, but like I think it's great for her to try to like instill her science background in this, because I will say, as much as I do love Happy Place, it literally didn't make any sense that Harriet was a surgeon, and we got no kind of voice that convinced us that she was a surgeon. But like for Elsie, I was like, oh, she's a scientist. Like she is.
Even the way she talks, like there's no doubt about it. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, a part of me, I was like, okay, you know what? I appreciate that because you've convinced me way much that like Elsie is clearly a scientist. But yeah, it was kind of sometimes hard to follow. Random, but I want to know who this freaking Kirk guy is. Like, we got mentions of him. Yeah, with Cece. And
I think it was just supposed to be some, like, subplot that, like, again, I feel like the whole Cece and Kirk subplot, as well as, like, her mom and brother's subplot, I feel like I could have done without the Cece and Kirk thing. Like, I feel like we got enough idea of, like, Cece's, like, who she is as a person. We didn't need the Kirk thing. Because again, like, he never really came into play, so like why mention him so much?
Yeah, that I thought he would come into play because he was introduced so early, but Anyways, bottom of page 70, I'm going to read this. So I Googled the devil I know, Jack. He has a Wikipedia entry. I refuse to give it hits on principle and a Google Scholar page, which I must click on, but do so while gagging. I feel like that like encompasses her so well. Like
it does.
I laughed so hard because I could see her just like gagging as she's like trying to click on his Google Scholar page. Like so
it's
funny.
Like she hates herself for it, but she has to do it.
Yeah. It's so funny. I love her so much. And then the last thing for this chapter is that her fucking family is so annoying. Like I honestly. Like, I understand the whole plot device and how it played into her being people pleasing, but it was so annoying. And I thought her brothers were originally high schoolers, but they're older. I was like, no, the fuck not. Nope, I'm out.
Okay, now that we're actually talking about this book, had a lot of different things into play, like almost too much, because like obviously we'll talk about this later, but like the diabetes thing, then her family thing, then her friend thing, then the fake dating Greg. I was like, whoa, there's like a lot of things. And it did work together, obviously.
And then her mentor,
like, Exactly. Like, oh my gosh. It was like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's a lot.
There were like a lot of layers. So a part of me is like, okay, I appreciate that. But a part of me is like, okay, well, could you have done without a couple? Like, I feel like also you could have cut out JJ as well.
Who's JJ?
Exactly. Her ex-boyfriend who she like started fake dating.
Yeah. Oh my, that's what I mean. It's like
exactly.
Choose a few. Like it. Yeah. Okay.
But that's it for me. So.
Okay. All right. Right into chapters 5 and 6.
Yes.
I don't have a lot for these chapters, but
okay.
Chapter 5 is a short one, basically highlighting the relationship between Elsie and her advisor, Dr. L. We learn that because of personal reasons, Elsie struggled to get into grad school. However, Dr. L gave her a chance, and now he's telling her to withdraw her application for the job because of Jack. By the end of the chapter, he wants her to win the job for revenge. Chapter 6 begins with Elsie teaching a class in front of her interviewers. Almost immediately, she meets resistance from experimentalists in the room. However, Elsie holds her own by addressing their concerns right away. Elsie then has a day of one-on-one interviews that end with an interview with Jack. By the end of this interview, we discover that Jack knows all about the fronts Elsie puts up, but he still can't figure out why she's dating Greg. The chapter ends with Jack preparing to give her a tour of the campus. I love that he just calls her on her bullshit and figures her out.
I love it. Okay, you know what is so funny? Because like I feel in comparison with the Hazelwood men, Jack is like the most outspoken, I feel like.
He is.
Like he doesn't give a fuck what he'll say or whatever.
No.
I love that.
I love it too. Because it felt very different than the other characters. It did. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
It's so interesting because at the beginning of chapter 5, I wrote a note that said, why do I feel like Dr. L is going to end up being a complete creep? I picked up on the weird nature of their relationship like right away.
Yeah, I did as well, but I think I was so concerned with Jack that like I put Dr. L in the back burner because again, kind of with Kirk, I was like, oh, is Dr. L going to be like a big character or is it just going to be like a Kirk thing where he's just mentioned? But
exactly.
I do really love the way that Allie Hazelwood weaved it through. I thought it was so good.
Yeah, I think so too. Page 84, I said, I'm going to drop kick this Cole kid because that,
please.
So basically that was the scene where like, she was teaching the class and this kid in the audience or whatever was just like calling her out and like giving her shit. And she held her own so good. I loved it. But I was so annoyed. Oh my gosh. Page 88. Oh God. Oh yeah. Because on page 87, she said physics. I wrote physics is like sex. Oh, please. I was like, I don't know about that. Like,
you know what?
I know you're trying to appeal to like the students, but like, is it?
You know what? Really? I'll leave that to the experts because clearly I did not major in anything science. I was in the arts, okay?
No, literally. Oof.
Oh wait, I was gonna say, did you know that physics was like my first class in high school that I ever got like a C in?
Wow.
And chemistry as well. Like,
because science sucks.
Exactly.
It's just not for everybody.
Exactly. That's why I'm in the arts, okay, people?
My note said, I swear I could read a whole book about Jack staring at her, LMAO. So this is a paragraph. And that's when I let myself look at Jack. My chin lifts just a millimeter. I told you you'd regret taking me on, Dr. Smith Turner. Jack stares back, expressionless, not smiling, not frowning, not gritting his teeth. He just stares in what I really hope is a reassessment of my threat to his physics domination plan, to his precious George. It's fleeting, and I'm probably imagining it, but I can almost swear that I spot a twinkle in the blue slice of his eye. Like, what?
It's almost like I want to know what Jack is thinking more so than I did Adam Carlson, because I feel like the whole stare thing is pretty similar to Adam, but like in this sense, I was like, oh my God, Jack, I want to know what, because he's staring all the time.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Page 95. Do I, his head tilts, notoriously hate theorists? I regularly collaborate with them, respect their work, admire several. Name one. You. He pins you with his stupid, hyper-seeing look. You are very impressive, Elsie.
What do you mean I'm impressive?
What do you mean? That was so hot.
God. So hot.
How did they not get together right then and there?
I know.
Like, what are we talking about?
How? Elsie,
the slow burn of this, the fact that we...
How are you not just like climbing him?
Yeah, no, literally.
I would have just like, I folded right there and then.
Page 101. I said, not him figuring her out like that. It said, no, I didn't. I did know, however, that there's something about you that you tirelessly study people, figure out who they are, what they want, and then mold yourself into whatever shape you think it will fit them. I've seen you play half a dozen different roles for half a dozen different situations, switching personalities like you're channel surfing, and I still have no idea who you are. So I think it's within my right to be concerned for my brother, and I think it's within my right to be curious about you. What? That's fake. It's gross and it's
this
fake.
Man is fake. I
know.
Literally throughout this entire book, I was like, this is fake. This is so fucking like
right?
What?
No, it's
I can't. I literally can't.
It's sickening.
It
what it is.
It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all I have.
Okay.
I'm just like literally I'm trying to keep myself somewhat calm because like I'm like so in love with him.
I love him.
Like,
I think he's like one of my top.
Someone like that. I know. It's
hard to like rank him because he's okay.
Jesus Christ, superstar spirit. I love him.
Me too. I love him too.
All right.
Okay. Jumping into chapter 7, here's my synopsis.
All right.
Jack gives Elsie a tour of the MIT physics department when she gets a little woozy. Her blood sugar is low, and Jack gives her a can of soda. We learn that Turner, in Jack's last name, comes from his mom, and Elsie learns that Jack can read her like a goddamn book. I was giggling and kicking my feet when Jack gave her the tour. Like, this entire time, I was like, oh, this is perfect.
This entire chapter and the way he took care of her, I know. It's overwhelming.
I know.
What it is.
I love it.
Yeah.
Again with his stupid size, okay? I understand. Okay, that's great with big boys, right? But I don't need to be reminded of his size like every 5 pages. Like on page 107, I whirl around. Jack is leaning against the door jamb. The set of his shoulders relax. His frame filling the entrance. He stares at me with that lopsided smile that almost has me forgetting that we hate each other. But still, the size where I'm like, oh, so he's filling the door frame. Like, I'm just like, we can pull back. It's okay.
Is Allie Hazelwood married?
She is.
Is he tall? Because she has got something with tall people. She's got something.
I want to know. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry. I just keep getting giggly. Ugh. Okay. So on page 110, right? We already know that he like reads her like a goddamn book, but this is what it says. He crosses his arms and looms. We're supposed to be on tour of the department. I feel like he's taking a tour of me. If someone read me that quick, I'd pass away. I'd be like, no.
I don't want anyone to know.
No.
You know, yeah, no, and that's why I relate to her so much. Like, him figuring that out makes her so nauseous.
Yes.
Who can't relate to that?
Yeah.
It's like, you are seeing too much, too fast.
Like, back the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, literally. Like, what do you know? Everything, apparently.
Yeah. He is a doctor. Random, but when I was rereading these scenes and doing my notes, just seeing how determined Elsie was to get the job breaks my heart, because it is so very clear Jack knows what's happening behind the scenes.
Exactly, but she's not admitting it to herself.
I know. And like this chapter reminded me, I'm like, oh wow, Jack knows what's gonna happen with this position. And I'm like, that just sucks. Like, it literally sucks, and I felt so bad.
It does. It's horrible.
Yeah. I love how this chapter ends, because Jack is clearly so fucking into her, it's like disgusting. This is what he says. Sorry, I feel like I'm like giggling. Okay, whatever. Okay. Not everyone wants you to be someone else, Elsie. He's wrong about that, but I can smell his skin. It's good in a way that's primal, almost evolutionary. I hate it. And I definitely wouldn't want you to be George. And why is that? He presses his lips together, even closer now, surprisingly earnest. It would be a waste. A waste of what? Of you.
What?
Are you kidding me?
He's so obsessed
You're
with
so
her.
upset. I know. Like, why is so obsessed with me?
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, dude! Oh my gosh.
He loves.
I know.
He loves her.
Anyway, that's the end of the chapter, which was chef's kiss. So we can move on to chapter 8. And here is my synopsis. Elsie's mom panic calls her to still get help with her brothers. Elsie gives her research talk and crushes it, and also finds out that Jack could conveniently benefit from Elsie's findings. At a party at Monica's house, Elsie asks if Jack and Andrea are dating. Jack praises her work, which only confuses Elsie even more. The chapter ends with Monica's son, Austin, who had offered her $70 to have sex with. I'm just going to skip the whole presentation, because all that we need to know is that Elsie is a fucking rock star and Jack needs her help. End of story, okay? Let's get to the party. When he approaches her on page 123, honestly, I could not handle. Yeah, okay, wait. Before I read this, let's set the scene. Okay. He's caging her in, okay? His biceps are brushing her head, filling the doorway like the god he is, I guess, right? Okay? That's the scene, okay? This is what she says. Did you need something? Just checking in, making sure you've eaten enough. I roll my eyes. I did. Thanks, Daddy. I am convinced that Allie Hazelwood will sneak in a daddy. Kink. Yes, she will sneak in a daddy in every book. And honestly, I'm here for it, because it's fucking funny. I cackled.
I laughed out loud. I was like, did she just... And then we moved on from it. Like, yes, she didn't so just quickly. Say that.
Yes.
Like, not thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, Daddy.
Yes. I know. And I love it, because I'm like, okay, like, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get one daddy each book. And it's so funny to see, like, what context she uses it in. Which goes into my next point, that this is fucking fake. I was cackling because of the whole daddy thing. But then I was also cackling because, what do you mean he wanted to make sure that she's eaten enough? No one has ever fucking asked me that. Should someone ask me that? What the fuck?
Why aren't you checking in on my meals?
Yes. I was like, you're fake. You're so fake, Jack. I swear to God.
He is. No, he literally
is. And that's the problem.
This is why I have such unrealistic expectations.
I know.
Like, why is no one obsessed with me right away? Let me know.
I know, which I have other thoughts about that as well, but yeah.
Okay, no. We'll wait for it.
Okay, so then we learned then that Jack was talking about Elsie's research in his lab today. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this, because this was the first time that I started to really put it together that, like, Elsie is so brilliant, but how could she not land a job? And does Jack really hate theorists? Like, I was starting to, like, feel that something wasn't lining up, where I was like, oh, someone's in the wrong here, but I don't know who.
Well, exactly. No, I agree. And I kind of picked up on that before because I'm like, she's doing this really cool research. We find that out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But then it's like she can't get a job. So I was very wary about that too, or it made me definitely like consider like, why is that? Because there's no way, if her research is that important, why wouldn't people be jumping at the opportunity?
Exactly. And again too, I think Allie Hazelwood did such a good job of kind of like leaving us breadcrumbs of being like, oh, something isn't right, but we're just gonna kind of keep moving on because most of it seems right, but there are some that's like not. So I mean, I really liked that. And then the only other thing I have is that when Austin came in, I screamed because I was like,
screamed as well.
Could this get any worse? Could this get literally any worse?
But then
I loved
it did when he came in. No, I love well, especially when he got like, he was like, leave her alone. Ugh. We love a protective man. We love a protective man.
I know. Okay, but that's it that I have for chapter 8, I think. Yeah.
Alrighty. 9 and 10 are pretty short, so I really have nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 9 is a short one, but important because we see Austin call Elsie out for being an escort. Oh, it happened in chapter 9.
Yeah.
See, okay.
No, you're good.
Because we see Austin call Elsie out for being an escort for him 4 years ago. It quickly becomes apparent that he is still salty she didn't sleep with him, and because of that disrespect, Jack stands up to him. Elsie then leaves the party in a rush. In chapter 10, Elsie goes over the events of the evening with Cece before deciding to stop using Faux, which is the fake dating app. Then she gets a call saying she needs to pick up Greg from emergency dental surgery. Even in chapter 8, I was like, I feel like there has to be some run-in with these people that we keep, because we got like little snippets of these stories from her past of like weird situations, and I was like, I feel like something has to run in to create drama.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I thought that was a really smart place to put it.
Yeah, me too.
So I love that. I love that. Then my other note says Jack standing up to him is so fucking hot. I really can't stand it.
Like the bar is on the ground, literally just standing up for me. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. No,
immediately.
Like, is that special?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. This I vomited. Okay.
Okay.
This is page 138.
Okay.
My first thought when I read unknown Boston number is that I'm going to be offered the job. It must be the sheer depth of my desperation making an optimist and a fool out of me. For a moment, I see myself holding back tears as I accept an appointment letter. I would like to thank the academy, my roommate, and the girl who runs a What Would Marie Do account, my rocks during the harrowing years of grad school. I owe this to you. I screamed.
Me too.
I screamed. I was like, that's B.
I'm like, B would be proud of you too.
She would be so proud.
I love it.
The cameos make me want to.
Me too. Me too.
I actually can't deal. I screamed.
Me
and then
too.
we'll get to the other part later, but oh my god. That's literally all I have for 9 and 10 because they're very short and kind of like insignificant.
Yeah.
But,
no, that makes sense. Well, that works perfectly because chapter 11 is a big one.
Okay.
So we'll have to get into it. So here is my synopsis. Elsie is called as Greg's emergency contact when a toothache gets him out of his retreat. Jack is there as well and learns of Elsie and Greg's arrangement. They take Greg home and we get a hint that Jack's mom kind of hates him. Elsie reveals her second job on Faux, and Jack reveals that Caroline is not his mom. His biological mother died years ago. Then Jack apologizes to Elsie for accusing her of lying to Greg and then basically confesses his love for her, ? IDK, but it was hot. Which we'll get to, okay? I have a whole spiel about that, okay?
All right.
Hi Greg is my favorite Greg, okay? I just need to say that.
I love Hi Greg. I love Hi Greg.
We need to protect him at all costs.
No, literally.
I love him.
We love Hi Greg.
I know you've already talked about this, but I'm just going to read my note. I said, random, but whenever Jack just stares at Elsie, which has happened multiple times, I just want to shake him and be like, tell me what you're thinking.
Literally. Oh my gosh. The staring, just I'm like,
I know. And then it goes into my next point where I think it's like poetic and also purposeful that like Elsie can read anyone and everyone and adjust accordingly, but she can't read Jack. On the other hand, Jack can read Elsie, and it's just like, oh, that's poetry right there.
No, it is. It's perfect. Literally the perfect balance and the perfect way to write the characters.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, I loved it. Okay, bottom of page 146 when Jack gets non-nipple milk on him. This is what it says. He's taken off his soiled shirt, and for some reason, I am physically unable to look anywhere but at his body, which has me realizing that I was totally wrong about him. He is big and well-muscled, very well-muscled. And I can see all the stuff that people always talk about, the bulk, the mass, the abs, the biceps, and the triceps stretching under the ink. The description keeps going on, but like that's almost already enough. Like I cannot handle him.
No, I literally can't. And the tattoos, oh.
You know how I feel about tattoos.
I know. I will say the tattoos that he has, like described later, I was like, really? But they're still hot.
They're so nerdy, which makes it even better. Like, I love that so much. Like, it makes him look cool, but really, he's just nerdy. Like, I love him. I love him. Oh, basically, I was going to say about that part when he's like, he's like naked or whatever. I was about ready to jump him right there. Like, I was like, how can you not, Elsie? Like, I was ready to go.
Where is this? Like, that's what's unrealistic about these books. No one is that resistant. Not one person.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, you have more strength than me, I guess.
No.
Okay, and then I said that their banter in this chapter was top fucking tier.
Top tier.
Like,
top
so
tier.
good. And bear with me because I have so many snippets that I picked, but they're just so good. Like, I couldn't let them go. So, this is page 151. He says, I'm sorry, Elsie. It takes me by surprise. So much so that I blurt out, for what? For accusing you of lying to my brother over and over. You did, didn't you? Does it hurt? What? This apology. He glares at me and I laugh. Was it your first? Did I pop your apology cherry? Apology retracted. Like, that's just so funny.
It's so good.
It's so cute. And he's like playing along with her.
I know.
Sorry, I'm like...
Because he just lets her do her thing. But
he
like,
lets her be her.
Yeah. She's herself.
Okay, this is on page 153. She says, shouldn't you want Austin to tell Monica so George will get the job and you guys can bro out in the MIT restroom, does aromatherapy together, and discuss who has the biggest hadron colander? George will get the job anyway, and we won't be doing that. A wild dimple appears. Everyone knows yours is larger anyway. His eyebrow cocks, and I turn to the coat rack. Shit, did I say that out loud? Elsie, honey, what are you doing?
I love that. There is nothing more than those moments where someone thinks out loud by accident. I love that. I love that.
Okay, and then page 154, when Jack psychoanalyzes her to a T. When you're yourself, that's when you're exposed, vulnerable. But if you hold back, losing a game's always painful, but knowing that you haven't played your best hand makes it bearable. Bold of you to assume that the real me is my best hand. That stupid, crooked half smile is back. Foolish of you to think it isn't. Like, he is so...
Come again?
He is so obsessed with her. Like, this is... When I kept gasping at every dialogue tag ever.
But that's the thing. He's so unapologetic about it, too.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. And then my last little snippet is on page 155. And this is what he says. He says... Have you considered that maybe you're already the way I want you to be? That maybe there are no signals because nothing needs to be changed? He's fake. He is a literal... Who says that shit? Theoni?
No, it makes me emotional. Because why isn't that real?
I know. I love him. Okay.
I know.
So then, the end of the chapter, it's basically Jack telling his side of the story, which I want your thoughts on.
Okay.
He basically says that, he watched her from the moment she was introduced to the family and how he developed feelings for his brother's girlfriend and how he was relieved that he learned that their relationship, Greg and Elise's, might not go anywhere. On page 158, he says, "It's because I want her for myself. I want to. I don't even fucking know. I want to take her to dinner, make sure she's relaxed, make sure she doesn't feel like she needs to think 2 steps ahead. I want to know why she can hold a ghost stone, and I really, really want to. Well, I'll spare you the graphic details. I'm sure you can imagine."
I can't imagine that good. Tell me.
No, tell me. Details.
I want the graphic details.
Right? And then also on page 159, I said this is my favorite part in the entire book. This is what he says. "I'm relieved because whatever thing I have for her, it'll go away. It won't survive knowing that she lied. Except that I didn't account for having to watch her talk about physics or read her work. I didn't account for having to spend 2 days with her and finding out that she is," he smiles at me, "gentle, resigned, spectacular." I'm sorry, what?
Because he respects her as a human, likes her for who she is. Is that real?
I literally could not deal with this whole entire speech. And then Greg comes out naked, right? Love Greg, but why'd you have to ruin the fucking moment? But literally. I wanted your thoughts because this whole entire fucking speech, it sounds like to me that he confessed his feelings for her, but then the next few chapters proceeds for like Elsie to be doubtful of Jack's intent. Exactly. I was so confused.
I was a little confused too.
Okay.
I loved the speech, but it felt like a lot.
I agree.
I was like, and I ate it up.
Yes,
but
me too.
I was like, okay, so is now she gonna avoid him because she's trying to like figure it out, like how is that gonna play? But then I felt like nothing really came to that right away. I was like, you just did this whole romantic speech and like,
well,
what?
My problem was that like Elsie was constantly doubting of like, oh, Jack doesn't want to spend time with me and he keeps praising my work and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, girl, he just said I love you to you. Like in chapter 11, like, were you not there? I was there. Like,
I know. And also the fact that he barely interacted with her twice before he was like, I need to not do anything. I was like, I know. What?
I know. I will say, okay, don't get me wrong. I love Allie Hazelwood and I will eat, read, whatever, anything that she ever produces. But I'm in the mood for something like a little more because all 3 of her books now have been like, oh, the guy secretly loves her and he falls for her first, which don't get me wrong. I love it, but I want something else now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because enemies to lovers, I mean, this is a little bit of that too. And so is Love on the Brain.
Yes.
But I was like, I feel like that's not really enemies to lovers when like someone's in love with them the whole time. Like there can be a little of that, but I feel like it was like the same.
My enemies to lovers blueprint is Aelin and Rowan. If it can't meet that level, it's not enemies to lovers technically.
Well, because they were like real I
know they were.
I mean, he literally told her she should be dead.
Yep.
So
yeah. But that's the thing. It's enemies to lovers.
Yep.
Right? So it's like that's truly enemies to lovers. Where this, it's like, oh, it's like rivals to lovers almost.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
So, but yeah, that's the end of chapter 11. And I really liked it because I kind of wanted just like a little bit more from Jack of like, okay, well, what's going through your head? Why are you staring all the time? So I'm happy that we did get that.
Me too.
All right. So here is chapter 12, which is also a big chapter. Elsie is eagerly awaiting the call about the MIT position. In the meantime, she goes to see 2000, A Space Odyssey with Cece, in which Elsie understood nothing of it. They run into Jack on a date, except it isn't a date. He's with Georgina Spelvetta, or otherwise known as George. From her, Elsie learns that she didn't get the MIT job and runs away. Going back to our point that we were just talking about, Elsie admits that she's attracted to Jack, and she has dreams about him, like sexual dreams, which I thought were really funny. But then it only feeds into my confusion of like, okay, then why can't you just like admit it to him right away? And like, why aren't you guys doing anything about, like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It was annoying.
Or why aren't they even having a conversation? Because like obviously maybe Greg is the issue, but like they would have to talk. But, like it seems so.
But the thing is that like Jack already confessed that he had feelings for her already. So I'm like, okay, then yes, exactly. So
why are you still acting like before?
Yeah,
because then that speech meant nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Like it didn't mean nothing, but yeah.
Do I have to read the paragraph again? No, exactly. Okay. Because he literally just said that he like likes her. Ugh, anyways. Of course, I knew Jack would be there at the theater doing nerd shit. Exactly, doing nerd shit. But I didn't expect him to be on a date. When I read that, I gasped. I was like, Jack on a date?
I was pissed. And then when we found out it was Georgie, for a split second, I was like, oh my God, does he actually have a thing with her? Like, is that... But then I was like, oh, no. Like, I feel like there was like a few moments of like, what? Is this real? But then it wasn't.
No, so. This chapter I had to take breaks on, where I had to like put it down and just like take a deep breath. I think this was like a couple of Snapchats that I sent you where I was like freaking out and I was like, I can't do it. This was the chapter. On page 169, there's this little thing that I want to read, and it starts with Cece. She says, "What's your name, tall gentleman?" "Jack. Nice to meet you, Jack." She thrusts out a hand, which disappears inside his. I stare, half paralyzed. "I'm Celeste, Elsie's most favorite person in the whole world. Are you?" His eyes slide to mine. "Must be nice." He's still half smiling, like this is making his Saturday night. What? Theoni, this is so annoying. He's so into her. He is so into her. It like
literally
pains
so
me.
Obsessed. Yeah. I can't. Nuts. It is.
I literally cannot.
Lucky you.
Who? What? Must be nice.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, what is up with people using nicknames for their regular names? Like Georgina, George. Okay, cool, not a big deal, but like, really?
Jack and Jonathan.
Oh my gosh.
So that was definitely a device she liked for this.
I know.
Story.
Which, I mean, I will say it did add the drama, but like, I was like, let's just use regular names.
Literally, just for once.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My heart sank when she found out from George that like she didn't get the job, which you had already touched on. But like, that's not how Elsie needed to hear it. And I think it just like really broke my heart because she really wanted it. And I just like feel really sad for her. And then she runs away.
I felt really sad too. I felt her desperation at that point. Yes. She did a good job of building up to that moment. So we really like felt for her. I honestly don't blame her for running away.
Me neither.
Because she can't show her feelings to anybody, right? And exactly. She would have like shown her feelings way too much in that moment, which would have made her mad uncomfortable. So
I felt so bad for her. Anyways, that's the end.
So this is chapter 13 and 14. In chapter 13, Elsie runs away after finding out who George is and that she didn't get the job. Jack follows after her and tries explaining that he tried to tell her she would never get the job, which causes Elsie to get upset because she feels he doesn't understand how much she needs the job and how difficult her road to get here has been. Then Jack invites her to his apartment so he can explain everything after giving her a hug and trying to comfort her, which Elsie can't help but accept. Oh my God. In chapter 14, Elsie finds herself in Jack's apartment when he finally explains to her why George got the job and how she got the interview in the first place. We also found out that Jack took himself out of the people who decided the job because Elsie was a conflict of interest for him. Jack then sets Elsie up in his room before Elsie wakes him up in the middle of the night to apologize again for what she said about George. Somehow Elsie finds herself cuddled up with Jack on the couch before falling asleep thinking about the fantasy Jack has about them. This chapter was a lot. Like, I loved it, but I was also like, I did not totally buy the reason of why. Why did she have to go to his apartment again?
Because he just lived like down the block, and he's like, "Hey, let's calm down."
Let's
and, like,
talk. Yeah.
And it's cold. Like this, there was a snowstorm coming in, so he's like, "We can't talk out here." And he lives just on the block, conveniently.
And what's crazy too, like kind of what you were saying earlier, like I have a note that said the whole time he was trying to protect her, believe him, Elsie, when he was telling her like you were never gonna get the job, and he blatantly said that, but she was taking it as like a playful whatever. But he wasn't allowed to make it anything more than that because of the whole politics of it. But like,
which is so crazy, like so crazy.
Page 170 time, basically she... Okay, so I'll just read it.
Okay.
"No, you don't know. I press my hands against his chest and push him away. He doesn't budge, which makes me explosively mad. You don't know what it feels like to have a chronic condition and no health insurance, to have to be perfect, to have to be on all the time because everyone around you expects you to be. And it's pretty fucking hard to be perfect when you're working 15-hour days for no money at a job you hate. You're not experiencing any of that, so you don't fucking know how I You're terrified. You're overwhelmed. The job market is at its worst, and you don't know if there'll be openings next year. Believe me, I can relate. Oh, really? You can relate with your long and arduous trek into STEM academia as a white, wealthy man? Like, when she went after him, I loved it because, like, she never shows her emotions like that.
Yes!
And she was just like, like, I feel like she needed to explode to, like, get better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love that. When she just went on and on, I was like, yeah, you go, girl. What makes it even better is that Jack was just like, yeah, I'm going to let her have this space. Like, to yell at me. And I'm like,
literally. He's just like, honestly, I would love if you keep yelling at me. I really think he liked it.
I know. It's a kink of his.
Anyway, yeah. Then page on 181, talk about the little things. She says, thank you, but I'm not thirsty. You need the carb count? Jack sets a package with the nutritional info beside it. To adjust your bolus, I tilt my head. Did you just use the word bolus? Sure did. He takes a seat right across from me. Even the chairs in his house look too small for him. But the fact that he put it with the nutritional information.
He's fake. He's literally fucking fake.
Insane.
Who does insane. That? Theoni, who does that?
Nobody, Selena. He's fake, and it's fucking rude.
He's like, sorry, I can't. I literally can't.
No, it's like, it's sickening.
It is. It really is. I'm not well, okay?
I know. Page 184. Right, I press my fingers into my eyes. My articles. They're excellent. And also, I look at him. Also, he wets his lips like he needs time to phrase something. Sometimes, when I read them, I can almost hear them in your voice, your personality. He shakes his head, self-effacing, like he knows he's being fanciful. A turn of sentence here, a formula there.
I literally can't right now.
This is disgusting.
It is so disgusting. What do you mean you hear her head in your voice?
What do you mean?
What do you like?
It's an academic article, man.
I know it's an academic
what
article.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Yeah, sickening. Okay.
I know.
Okay, it's literally just page 187. It's literally, I'm not even gonna read it because it's a whole page, but I literally just said, like, God damn, he's giving her the bed and taking care of her, and I just can't fucking handle this. Like, he's giving her the bed, he offers to change the sheets, like, he just, like, there's nothing he wouldn't do. There's nothing he wouldn't do.
I know, it's like disgusting. Like, I'm like, sir, like this, that is his fantasy. That's his kink. That's his everything that he wants, just to like take care of her, which is so fake because no one would ever do that. And I'm pissed that it's fake because that shit sounds great. It
does. I want someone to dote after me.
I know.
Okay. Page 91 is maybe where it got a little much for me, okay?
Okay.
This was the one part where I was like,
okay.
But the inside is surprisingly mundane. Tissues, pens, keys, a flashlight with a few batteries, coins, and a white piece of paper that I cannot resist picking up. It's a photo, a Polaroid, blurry with a go board and a handful of people clustered around it. Only one face is fully in focus. A girl with brown hair and even features who frowns at the camera and me. It's me. The photo was taken at Millicent Smith's birthday party. A game ends in a draw. Izzy yells at people to smile. All the Smiths turn towards her, except for the tallest, who keeps looking at me. Only at me. A faint smile on his lips.
Honestly, I don't know how Elsie saw that picture and just didn't jump him immediately.
Okay, but isn't that a little much that he has a photo of her in his nightstand and they're not even like dating, like nothing?
Yeah, it's a little.
Isn't that? I loved reading it. Like, it's cute, it's wholesome, and I love the picture. But I was like, we get it. He's obsessed with her.
Yeah, it was a little much, but honestly, like, I was just digging it. And also because we also had learned in chapter 11 or 12 or whatever it was that he, like, felt really, really guilty that he was, like, into his brother's girlfriend. And so I think this Polaroid was like, okay, if I can't have her in real life, this is all that I get of her, unfortunately.
Okay, fair.
You know? Fair. Because he did feel a lot of guilt, and maybe that was his, like, one little, like, cheat to have her in quotation marks when it's really not. Which actually makes it kind of sad, honestly.
It is. That is sad.
That is really sad.
Okay, but then 193, he did something so hot.
Okay.
she's going on a whole rant about how George, like, she felt so bad for being George. I'll just read the end of it. I feel like total shit, and I really didn't think they were right, but for a second I wasn't sure. For a second they made me doubt myself, and I don't want to be like them. Hey, Jack shifts and then does something I don't fully understand. Somehow he pulls me up, and somehow I'm on the couch, lying on the couch next to him. My head nestles under his chin. His arms surround mine. Our thighs tangle together. I open my mouth to say something like, what the hell? Or, oh my God? Or, blah, 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 blah. But nothing comes out. Instead, I burrow deeper. Like, the fact I'm sorry, maybe this is just if a guy just, like, pulls you to cuddle you, or just, like, something about that.
So hot.
Just really does it for me.
No, I agree. I literally can't. I can't. He is so fake. It hurts. Mm-hmm. It hurts. Like, I have never felt like this with any other male character except Jack, because I don't know. It's just like everything that he does, I'm like, that's fake. You're so fake. No,
literally. I don't even know how many times you can say that, but
I know.
Like that's the theme of the book.
I know, really.
Page 195. I mean, it was a little different than what I wrote, but she said, I laughed wetly against his Adam's apple. I need to go back upstairs. I've never slept with anyone, never even considered it. I can't control what I do at night. What if I move too much or snore or take up too much space? A cover hog is the Elsie no one wants. But with Jack, I have nothing to lose, right? We're past that. Elsie goes into this later, and I just want to know why every single Allie Hazelwood character is either kind of averse to sex with anyone but their person, or really, really inexperienced. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Mm-hmm. But why does it have to be every single female character? Like, I would love to see, like, a female character of hers in the STEM field. Yeah. Like, enjoy, like, not enjoy sex, but, like, I feel like it would be you know?
Yeah, well, you've like read her like small stories, right? Mm-hmm. Hannah, I think, is the main character in one of the stories. She was like all very like fine with sex and all that stuff. True. But that was like the only character who comes to mind. Ones. Yes, yeah. Exactly. So it's like I understand. A part of me is like, okay, well, I wonder, I don't want to assume, but like it's very normal for authors to write from their experiences. So for example, you know, we've both read Helen Huang, who is autistic, and she writes only autistic main characters. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. But so I wonder
if that's something personal to her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
which is more than fair. It's just like, for me, a reader, I'm like, oh, it's the same. Oh, I don't have a lot of experience, but like all of a sudden I'm turned on by this person and I don't understand it. I'm like, yes, we've read this before.
Right? Again, love Allie Hazelwood, will consume anything that she will write. But like,
I'm not,
some of these tropes, so like with the whole like, he's too big, or the whole like, oh, he secretly loves her, or like, oh, I'm inexperienced and I only feel attraction for him. I'm like yes, but what else? Like, can we do more?
Exactly. Exactly. Then I have one more quote for this chapter. Okay. And it, like, I actually screamed and took a break after I read this.
Okay, what is it?
It's not that. I think he might be about to conk out. It fits nicely in a bunch of really weird fantasies I have about you. Skipping down a little bit. Do these fantasies involve giant tentacle dildos? Of course. Way more outlandish stuff too. Milkmaid roleplay? Wilder. It's furries, isn't it? You wish. You have to tell me or I'll picture necrophilia and dismemberment. In my weird family's Elsie, ... He shifts me till our curves and angles match up. Perfectly. In my fantasies, you allow me to keep an eye on you. I feel his lips at my temple. And when I really let go, I imagine that you let me take care of you too. It does sound outlandish. Why? Because in my head, no one has ever done it before.
I had to put the book down as well. Who says that, Theoni? That is his not even like, oh, let's try this and this and this in bed. Not even that kind of fantasy. It's literally like, let me take care of you, and no one else has ever done it. Like, he's so fake, it hurts me. It hurts me.
Like, what
the sick.
I need him in real life.
Me too.
I need him.
God damn it.
I need him. Anyone out there want to take care of me?
Yeah, exactly. Have a fantasy of taking care of me?
Literally. Go right ahead.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. I know. I did truly have to take a break after that. Oh, he's just so pure, honestly.
He is.
He's so pure.
Alrighty. Is that all of our chapters for today?
Yeah, that was a good place to end it.
Yeah, it actually was.
Yeah.
Wow, we planned it great.
Wow.
Okay. But yeah, we will be talking about the second half of Love Theoretically next week, which I am very excited to get into.
It gets heated. It gets spicy.
Heated. Oh my no, I swear. There's something I like about it though, when there's so much buildup, but then once it finally breaks, it's like you can't stop.
Literally.
I love that.
Literally. Like, it was worth it to wait because of what happens, which we'll talk about next week.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.